Hello and welcome to Premier League predictions game week 27, where there are some big games including Tottenham, Man City, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle. So let's just jump into the first game. First game at 7:30 Tuesday night, or tonight, is Brighton versus Bournemouth. Two sides that are pushing their luck for European football this season, especially Bournemouth, as they are in the race for the top four with Manchester City and Newcastle and Forest. But losing to Wolves last time out was a bit of a bitter blow for Bournemouth, as they lost Zabani through a red card, and then Cunha, and then Wolves held on for the win and were good value for that win. But before that, Bournemouth did beat Southampton. They lost to Liverpool, but then beat Forest 5-0, so they are in good form, are Bournemouth. Apart from that red card, which wrecked their hopes of beating Wolves on Saturday. As for Brighton, brilliant form they are in after the 7-0 loss to Brighton. Seems to have motivated them a little bit. They've beaten Chelsea back-to-back, 2-1 and 3-0, and then they've just battered Southampton 4-0 away from home when it could have been 10. Michael Oliver, the ref, great news for that game. Obviously not, because he is the worst referee in the Premier League. This is on TNT Sports. Brighton with a win could go as high as 7th, pushing it. No, probably 8th if they do. They could go up, but Villa lose. For prediction, I'm just going to go, given Bournemouth are out of form, Brighton are more in form at the moment. And with the nature of football, Bournemouth beating Forest, and then Brighton beating Forest beating Brighton 7-0. I'm going to go for a Brighton win. I'm going to go Brighton 2, Bournemouth 1. The next one tonight at 7:30 is Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa. Two inconsistent side against a team that's just finding their stride from last season in Aston Villa. Can they go all the way to get Champions League in Europe again under Unai Emery? I'm not so sure. Maybe they will. I think City, Forest, Newcastle, Bournemouth and Chelsea all have something to say about that. Palace, really inconsistent. Never know what you're going to get. A bit like West Ham last season. For a prediction, I don't know, because Villa are hitting form, but then they always struggle at Palace away. 8th versus 13th. Saar loves scoring. Villa scoring 3 at the moment with Emi Martin. Scoring 3 with Ollie Watkins, not Emi Martinez. He plays in net. Mateta. I do think Mateta will get a goal. For a prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Crystal Palace. I know that sounds silly, but I think the head-to-heads, I think they always seem to do well, Palace, at home to Aston Villa, which is a surprise, but then they always struggle away at Villa Park. So I'm going Palace 2, Villa 1. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Fulham. A good win last time out for Wolves against Bournemouth, and Fulham losing to Palace. So this could be a nice Wolves home win, and this will definitely cement their safety, probably, because the other teams below them are just absolute shit. Fulham, you don't know what Fulham's going to turn up. You could get the good one, you can get the bad one. I think Wolves will definitely fancy their chances in this one. Head-to-heads, Wolves always have the upper hand in the last 2 matches. Fulham are just mid-table. I don't think are going to do anything in the season. Definitely aren't going to push for Europe. They'll just stay in that 10th, 11th, 12th, even 13th mark. Probably get overtaken by United and Spurs towards the end. Wolves will be fine, in my opinion, this season. 8 points off West Ham. 5 points clear of the drop. For a prediction, I'm going to go 1-0 Wolves. I think they'll have that bit of energy boost after the Bournemouth game. They'll be up for this. And yeah, I think Wolves can beat them. And Fulham's inconsistency remains. I'll say Wolves 1, Fulham 0. Now the later game on tonight's fixtures is Chelsea against Southampton as we count down to kick off on FootMob. Chelsea really out of form. They've only beat West Ham and Wolves since the new year, and Morecambe in the cup, but that wasn't any good. You'd expect them to win here, though, because Southampton are one of the worst Premier League sides going in the history books. But I could see Chelsea slipping up. Southampton usually have a decent record at Stamford Bridge. Recently, anyway. Chelsea, yeah, really outformed, losing to Brighton twice, Villa, City, only beating West Ham in that period, drawing to Bournemouth, almost losing that, Ipswich losing in the Christmas period as well, drawing to Palace, not good. For prediction, I am going to go 3-1 Chelsea just because Southampton are absolutely terrible right now. I can't see Southampton winning at all for the rest of the season. And they probably will break the record. So, yeah, I'm going Chelsea 3, Southampton 1, and Juric to get sacked. Now, into Wednesday's fixtures, we go to the GTEC Community Stadium. Brentford take on Everton. Brentford in good form. Their away form's been superb. It's been a bit of a tale since the new year that their home form's gone off a cliff and their away form has picked up. So, and for Everton under David Moyes, their not away from the new manager bounce has really kicked in. I do expect it to level off soon. Brentford's home form is very good, as we know. Not very good since the start of the new year, though. This is a tough one to call. Brentford against Everton, 11th against 14th. Moyes new manager bounce. I'm going to go for a 2-2. Everton 2, Brentford 2, Everton 2, just to solidify a point, get them on the board, keep them safe from the drop. Not that they will be going down. I think Thomas Frank and David Moyes will both settle for a point. 2-2. Next is Manchester United against Ipswich. Could we see an upset on the cards where Ipswich Town go to Old Trafford and beat Manchester United? Possibly, with the form Manchester United are in. Drawing Everton last time out, Ipswich are very goal leaky at the back. Conceded 4 against Liverpool, conceded Southampton twice, drawing at Villa, and then getting tonked by Spurs 4-1. Sorry. This really does have potential to have goals in it. I could see United winning it, but I think it'd be tight. I think Ipswich, they're not going to survive. I think they'll be the best of the 3 promoted teams to give it a right good go to try and stay in this league. I mean, Delap is where their goals come from. I mean, they've got a good attacking line, but their defence is nowhere near good enough. I mean, Burgess and O'Shea, that is mid-table championship, for goodness sake. Mid-table championship defence. It's not good. It's a shame because Ipswich Broad don't invest that much. But unluckily for them, I think for prediction, I'm going to go 3-2 Manchester United. I just think it'll be goals. Both sides are quite leaky at the back. And it'll make sense for some goals. I'm going Man United 3, Ipswich 2. Next is a battle between 2 big clubs in Nottingham Forest and Arsenal, 3rd against 2nd. But I don't think it'd be 3rd against 2nd soon if Forest lose this one. But you could back them to win with the Forest crowd behind them. Get them up for this game. Forest, losing to Newcastle last time out, almost making a remarkable comeback. Only beat Brighton 7-0 in their last 5 matches. Arsenal, bit inconsistent at the moment, beating City, but then losing to Newcastle in the Cup, beating Leicester, and then losing at home to West Ham for some odd reason. Losing to Graham Potter and West Ham. Forest have slipped off. They are on a bit of a downward trajectory, still holding on for the top 4, still 3 points clear of Manchester City and Newcastle, and 4 clear of Newcastle. 4 clear of Bournemouth and Chelsea. I think Forest could win this. I mean, just because they've got a better striker, they've got Chris Wood. Arsenal don't have Chris Wood up front. And Arsenal will be having to play Trossard at striker, which he is in a number 9. So for a prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Forest. I know they're on a bit of a downward trajectory. Arsenal don't have a striker, but sometimes they can bang the goals in. But yeah, I just think Arsenal's attacking line is really poor at the moment, which it is. It shows by their games not scoring enough, apart from the game against City. but they had Havertz there and he's now injured. So yeah, I'm going to go Forest 2, Arsenal 1. This is the second of the 3 big games on Wednesday evening as Spurs host Man City. Spurs getting a few of their injured players back. Will Van der Ven and Romero be back for this one? I'm not so sure. 3 wins on the bounce in the league for Spurs. Man City losing to Liverpool last time out, but then beating Newcastle. This score really could be anything. Spurs, you could see them pushing for Europe maybe. I'm sure Ange will want to get them pushing for Europe with all their injuries back, but they have to make sure they don't get any more injuries for the rest of this season. As for City, they will get top 4, no doubt about it. And if Rodri is back soon, then I'm sure they will. 7:30 tomorrow night, this one. Spurs with a win can close in on Brentford if Brentford lose to I'm not sure now who are they playing. Brentford, Everton, that's it. If Brentford lose to Everton, Spurs will definitely close up, but the mid-table is really congested in the Premier League with Fulham, Brighton, Brentford, Spurs, Palace, Villa. So yeah, for a prediction, I'm going to go the same as last season. I'm going to go Manchester City to win by 2-0. I think they'll be better. I think Haaland might be back for this game. As poor as Man City have been in this last week or two, I can see them getting the result here over Spurs. I just don't think Spurs have got the right players back yet to topple down Man City. Yeah, so Spurs 0, City 2. So the final kick-off on Wednesday night is Liverpool taking on Newcastle. This will be the Carabao Cup final in a week or two's time. Liverpool at home at Anfield, you back them to win this, but you never know after what's happened recently, Villa and Everton, but then they did show signs that they were better against Manchester City. Newcastle, it's a fine form apart from that 4-0 loss to City, and Fulham lost. They are very inconsistent. Newcastle can rip some teams apart at St James's Park. If the crowd are afraid, they get onto them, and it could really frighten the opposition. Beating us only 3-2, and Arsenal in the cup. They're very good in the cup competitions. Newcastle United. They're still in the top 4 race, but I just can't see them getting in there, to be honest, because they're that inconsistent under Eddie Howe. I think if Newcastle are to go to the next step, they need to get rid of Eddie Howe. So yeah, I think they'll be in. I don't think they'll get top 4. I think they'll get Europe, but I think it'd be Europa League or Conference League for Newcastle. Liverpool have won this league already, so they can just afford a few slip-ups. And Man City are going to keep slipping up, as well as Arsenal and Forest, who aren't in a title fight at Forest. But revamp, it will be, the Carabao Cup will be a revamp of this. So I'm going to go 4-2 Liverpool, just because Newcastle are high scoring. They know what they're doing. And yeah, Newcastle are going to lose this because it's at Anfield. So Liverpool 4, Newcastle 2. And then the final game of the week is on Thursday night, where West Ham play Leicester City under the lights at the London Stadium. Leicester, I mean, where are their goals coming from? Yes, they create chances. Yes, they do this and that. But at the end of the day, they concede too many goals. That is their main issue, Leicester City. This one, the main one on Thursday evening, you could see this genuinely being a cricket score for West Ham, but then their goals to game ratio isn't great, I don't think, because with all Graham Potter sides, it isn't. For prediction for this one, I'm going to go 2-0 West Ham. I think just to be safe, just to be calm, West Ham will win this one by 2-0. Nothing outrageous, nothing too bad, but Leicester's defence is awful. It's almost as bad as Southampton, which shows something. -34 goal difference, -42 for Southampton. Leicester are going down and will be playing them next season along with Southampton at Ipswich, and the Premier League has lost its competitiveness in the last year or two because teams can spend I mean, look at Forest, look at Everton spending too much money, getting points, still staying up because the 3 teams below them are so weak. Premier League, change your FFP rules and we might get something different. Thank you again for watching this predictions video for Game Week 27 in the Premier League. The review show will be out Thursday night or Friday, depending on what I can do. Again, thank you for watching. The predictions video for League One will be out tomorrow, Championship Thursday, Friday for the Prem. So that's all good. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, share the video with whoever you know. And again, thank you for watching. I'll see you all soon.